Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about a pair of truly wireless earbuds that actually snaps to the back of your phone. Now, I can't say enough on how convenient that is because there's a lot of people that don't want to keep up with extra things, but the one thing you're always going to have on you is your cell phone. So I definitely think the idea here of having a pair of truly wireless earbuds that just magnetically connects to the back of your phone is very interesting. Now let's go ahead and start with the price. This is actually a Kickstarter campaign that started today. Again, the early bird price is $69, and I'm usually a little iffy about doing videos on products that are Kickstarter or Indiegogo campaigns, just simply because you don't ever know how they're going to pan out. Now, I personally have never had any issues with any type of campaigns, but if you have had a bad experience, I completely understand. But today we're going to talk about the Snapods, which is a $69 product that really does have some pretty impressive features, and the idea of this alone is just so convenient to have the earbuds snapped onto the back of your phone at all times. But on top of that, the technology that's in here is also pretty impressive because it's using a Qualcomm 3040 chip. It has Bluetooth 5.2 and it has aptX playback. So I noticed that it had a very solid, stable connection. I didn't have any dropouts. I didn't have any lag with movies or videos. There is still going to be the slight lag when it comes to gaming on your mobile device, but that's just gaming on your mobile device in general. Now, as far as the connection goes, it uses the new true wireless mirroring technology, which basically has one earbud mirror the other's connection. So if you're listening to one and you decide to pull the other one out of the case, it will just instantly connect. There's no lag between that. There's no delay. It's just instant. And I find that to be really convenient. Now, as far as the IP rating, they come in rated at IPX5. So this is not a completely waterproof pair, but it'll be fine against splashes, or if it rains, or if you're somebody that sweats heavily. Just make sure that you don't submerge them into water. Now, as far as what you're getting inside the box, this is extremely simple. Because it has the open air design, it doesn't use silicone ear tips, so there's none of those in the box. And as far as the charging cable goes, it uses a USB-C cable. And speaking of the charging cable, battery life is also fairly decent on here. On the earbuds themselves, you're going to get around 5 hours, which I think is more than okay considering the size of the earbuds. And then with the charging case, you can look to get around 45 hours total. Now, another thing about the case that I find to be very interesting is it is also a Qi wireless charging case. So not only is that convenient that you can come in and drop it on a wireless charger to start charging, if you have the case on the back of a phone that has the power share feature, you just flip that on and it will charge your earbud case on the back of your phone, which is already magnetically attached. So it's pretty seamless, and then you really would never have to take the earbud case off the back of your phone. Now, other things about the case, I find it to be extremely slim. They obviously did have to fit a battery in here, so it is going to add a little bit of bulk. But as far as still being able to put your phone in your pocket with this case, I didn't notice any issues there. The one thing I did notice is, although the magnets I think are fairly strong, you will find at times, especially if you're putting this in your pocket, that the case will slide around a little bit. So you are going to have to sometimes just kind of maneuver it to center it back on the back of your phone. And to me, that's just a little inconvenient every now and then. This isn't something that I found happened every time, but it did happen enough that I wanted to point it out to you guys. Now, also on the case, in between the two earbuds, it has 3 indicator lights, and that way you can kind of gauge how much battery life is left on the case. Now, moving over to looking at the earbuds themselves, the first thing that I want to point out is when I reviewed the Yobibo Card 20s a little while back, which were labeled as the world's thinnest true wireless earbuds, these have the exact same design, the exact same layout, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's not the exact same earbud. Now, the earbuds themselves do use touch controls, and I'm happy to say that it gives you control over everything. So you have your play, pause, skipping your tracks forward, going backwards, and even volume control all on the earbuds themselves. Now, as far as you guys that like to use your earbuds individually, I'm happy to say that you can use either the left or the right. And then as far as the microphones on these, this is another area I think they did a pretty decent job with. They're using the CVC 8.0 technology, which is allowing the earbuds to focus in on your voice and block out your surroundings. But you guys can be a judge by listening to a test here.
Alright guys, so here is a mic test using the Snapods. I don't think this is going to be any kind of mic that's going to blow anybody away. I think it's going to get the job done for most phone calls, but this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call. And now here is the mic test for the crowd noise being played, which you can hear here. And so this is what it would sound like if you were to take a call in public.
So now let's talk about the sound, because the sound itself is one of those things that really impressed me about these. In fact, what impressed me about them is they are very comparable to Apple's AirPods. Now that's also due to the design of these. Like I said, they have the open ear design, so you can tell that they boosted the bass somewhere you're going to be able to feel it, because a lot of open ear design earbuds, you're not getting the feeling of bass. So to kind of counter that, the company has to boost the bass a little bit so that you can feel the slight vibrations, and I think they did a really good job. Now, it's not a subwoofer type bass, it's not going to be overpowering. You can tell that the main focus is going to be on the mids and the highs, because there's a lot of clarity in these, there's a lot of details that they pick up, and because of the size, I'm really impressed with the amount of sound you're able to get as well. I felt like volume level was very nice, and as far as the mids, I felt like they were pushed forward enough that vocalists never got drowned out in the mix. I was able to hear a lot of details in acoustic songs and even rock songs, so it never really got congested or muddy, which again is surprising considering the size of these earbuds. Now, I think the treble is definitely the standout when it comes to these. There is a lot of clarity and a lot of focus on details, so you're able to hear a lot of subtle things in songs, and that mixed with the open ear design, giving it a very open sound, was really impressive. I had no issues with telling where details of sound or instruments were coming from. And again, I think if you're somebody that has used the AirPods or another pair of earbuds that has that open ear design, you'll know what I'm talking about. The music just kind of mixes in with your surroundings, because these are not giving you any kind of passive noise cancellation. So you're still able to hear your surroundings while you're listening to your music. Now, as far as my cons with these, one is going to be the open ear design. It's just not my personal favorite. I do see where in some areas it is beneficial. I just personally prefer silicone ear tips, and I like the ability to block out my surroundings. And then the only other con that I have is the adhesive that's on the back of the magnets. Sometimes you'll notice will shift a little bit, so you'll notice that you have to kind of line it back up every now and then. This isn't something that happens often, but it is something that still happened enough that I wanted to point it out. But outside of that, I think for the early bird price of $69, to be able to get Bluetooth 5.2 aptX playback, you're getting a solid connection and just the convenience of having the earbuds on you at all times, especially now with Apple advertising the iPhone 12 and their new MagSafe charger and the magnets that's on the back of these. These are built to work very well with that, pretty seamless with that, and I'm really impressed with how well it sticks on the back of my phone. Now, this is attached to the back of an iPhone, but I was also able to attach it to the back of my Galaxy Z Flip with no issues. And so overall, it's a very impressive and very convenient product for $69. But guys, that's my video on the Snapods, which is available on Kickstarter. That information will be in the description below. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.